Coffee. So, we're going to continue with this loadout series guide. I want to talk about Jenos. Jenos is who we're doing today. And nobody had any requests, so Jenos it is. I want to talk about Jenos, because Jenos is really, to me, the worst healer in Paladins. And it's very annoying because Furia is a competent healer, Grok is a competent healer, even throughout late game. Grover is traditionally an early game healer, and then he just gets killed by Cauterize too much where he can't heal by the end of the game. You have Pip's in a similar boat, but Pip doesn't have as much healing potential as Grover does. Maldamba is a top tier healer throughout the game. Saris is a top tier healer. Ying can be a top tier healer, but you have Jenos, and Jenos literally, it doesn't matter at the beginning of the game. Jenos just doesn't do enough healing. You don't even need Cauterize to deal with Jenos because he only applies a 300 burst, which, well, that's the same that Maldamba's provides with Spirits Chosen. The difference is Maldamba has two forms of healing. So what does Jenos provide? Luminary, the 15% damage buff. But the problem with Luminary is that you always are putting the damage buff more so on a damage to give them the bonus rather than on a character that needs healing. And 220 health per second is not a lot. You have to realize, for most of your damage and flank characters, that's 10% of their maximum health. For a tank, that is a fraction. For a tank, you're looking at 5%. Imagine putting that heal, a 220 heal, on Ashe with no rejuvenate.
Ashe.
Now, if I'm running my normal Ashe build... Where's my normal Ashe build at? Wait, do I actually have a tanky Ashe build anymore? I don't have a tanky Ashe build. Yeah, I do. Hold on. There we go. I forgot. Like, 750 health on top of that. 525. I mean... Or Fernando as an example. 460... plus an additional 750, yeah. Like, that's nothing. But Jenos is always picked or banned because of Luminary. Now, if you ever see me in Ranked, I want you to know right now, I'm not banning Jenos because of Luminary. I'm banning Jenos because I don't want a Jenos on my team. Period. Here's the problem that I have with Jenos. Now, most of your other healers, for example, Maldamba, does have different loadouts depending on what you're going for. If you're going for a stun build, you've got the reload speed card. You know, you'll have Feed the Spirits in there at a higher. If you're going for something like Wakona's Wakona's Curse. If you look at a character like Saris, you know, she has very different cards. She has things like Umbreal Gate, Dark Sight, Bane, that can be used for damage builds to help with the healing. Grok, obviously, you know, Pip and Grok are often thought of as damages rather than actually supports. Even a character like Furia, who most people think of being as just like a healer, has a lot of cards she can use for damage. Inner Fire is a good one. Devout Dexterity is a good one. Pyrotechnic Dynamo is a good one. Hollowed Sight is a good one. These types of damage cards give her a separate style of play. But for Jenos, you don't really have that. And we're going to explore this a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this build without really using it. So let's explain Jenos' cards a bit. Now, let's start with what you will pretty much only ever see one Stellar Win card in someone's loadout, and it's either a filler or it's a meme build based around Space Jam 5. Space Jam basically just makes you jump really high into the air. It is a bit memey, it's not really that great, but it can be fun to just have 60% increased jump height in your R1, where you sort of just go woo up into the air. Star Seeker just gives you better control while you're in the air, but there's no point in running it if you're running Space Jam. Solar Sails and Cosmic Barrier, these are two cards you'll see, but Cosmic Barrier, remember, this is another card that you have to put at either 2 or 4. Where it is damage reduction, you could put it at pretty much any value and get some benefit out of it, because Haven and Blast Shields stack in interesting intervals. Basically, damage reduction stacks at 90% cap, so it makes it very difficult to argue against, like, you know, hey, you could put 25% damage reduction on and grab Haven, and you're at, you know, 46% damage reduction plus anything else you get. But the downside to that is it's not a card you really want to put a lot of points into, because a good Jenos is not in Stellar Wind a lot. A good Jenos is shooting, just putting out poke damage. They're putting out their heal, they're void gripping. They're not really using their Stellar Wind all that often. Solar Sails is a better filler card just because you get ammo from it, but you don't get a lot of ammo per second, because I do not find myself, again, you're not going to be, a good Jenos is not in Stellar Wind all that often. Excuse me. So, in order to get value out of Solar Sails, to really notice it, you need it at Tier 2 or Tier 3, just so that you can get that little chunk of ammo for being in Solar Sails for a minute, especially with his rate of fire. If you're running Binary Star, this can be a good build, because you can put it at 2, and you'll get more ammo back because of the slower rate of fire. But if you're using an automatic fire version of him, you need this card at like 3 to get the value of it. So these cards right here aren't going to get run all that often. Another problem with Jenos is that you very rarely do you see these cards ever picked. Side Reel, which is a new one that used to provide a reveal, which nobody used before. Again, nobody uses it now. It's a health card. But on Jenos, it can be strong because he does need additional health. So we'll leave that in. Penubrium, that's a fun card. I like that. I'm probably going to base my build around it. But the downside is, again, this is a card that's really only good at Tier 2 or Tier 4. And most builds, Jenos builds, do not have the luxury of that. You have Lawrence for the extra ammo count. This is really strong if you're running automatic fire Jenos, where you can increase the magazine to 34 rounds. Because Jenos, and this is my problem with Jenos, Jenos is a damaged character, basically. He has the weakest heal of all the healers in the game, but because it's a duration heal through walls at a long range, he gets a fuck ton of healing because you can put it on a target before they start taking damage. And then when they start taking damage, the heal will still be there. He deals a lot of damage with his weapon, 108 per shot, at a slightly slower rate of fire than some of the automatic fire champions in the game. His rate of fire is only 0.03 seconds slower than Victor. Just remember that. And he deals about 30 less damage per shot. And this is a support character. He doesn't have a healing ult. Through Time and Space is basically a Kamehameha that deals 2400 damage. And his Void Grip is a low damage annoyance to the enemy team unless you run Power Cosmium. So, increasing the ammo count is nice, in the same way that you kind of need to increase the ammo count for, like, Tyra. But, it's not worth it. Inertia, okay, this is a card that is only viable at Tier 4. Now, the problem with it is that Jenos has a faster reload speed. There's no point to running this card at all, because Death Dance is probably the least picked item on him out of all the red items. You can filler on Wrecker and Bulldozer to help your team by taking pot shots from long range, but it's not going to be that strong. These cards right here, the Void Grips and the Astral Marks, are what you're going to see a lot. And I'm going to talk about these first. So Inner Peace is completely redundant and outmatched. Now, it does have like a 12-second cooldown, and you can reduce it by 6 seconds. Is it a 12-second cooldown? Remember? Yeah, it is a 12-second cooldown. So while one might say, wow, that's great, the reason why it's outmatched is because of Falling Star. Now, if you max Falling Star out, it reduces all of your cooldowns by 100% anytime someone you Void Grip dies within 4 seconds. That is a lot stronger of an ability, because you can not just have a quick cast on your Void Grip again, but your heal, but your Stellar Wind, all come back instantly. And it gives him the ability to have a really strong reset of Void Grip, kill, Void Grip, kill, Void Grip, kill, and pop a heal every time. So you're doing heal, Void Grip, kill, heal, Void Grip, kill. But that requires a lot of dedication from your team to focus down whoever you Void Grip. But it is one of his strongest cards. Even as a filler, at any value, it's good because it's taking bulk cooldown reduction off anytime you press your Void Grip if they die. And it works for 4 seconds after as well. So it's one of those things that's very strong that a lot of people don't think about. Eclipse, this is weak. Now, you could put this at any tier, but remember that it only lasts for 2 seconds. So putting this card at level 5 is a 500 heal. And if they have resilience, then you get less of a heal off of this. This is probably one of the worst healing based cards in the game, because resilience just so heavily counters it. Heavenly Pull is great. Again, it's good at any level because of the fact that you can increase the range by so much. However, the downside is the fact that you have to have Falling Star with it to become effective. And in order to truly become effective, you have to put Falling Star at 5. So now that means you have 10 points locked up into the ability to grab people at long range and hope that your team kills them. Where are you going, Linus? Give me the blanket. I saw what you're doing there. My dog's being evil. Say hello. Say hello, Kungpa. Okay, don't. So it's not really that strong because you have to put it with Falling Star. Now these are the cards I see everyone run. Now Relativity is about the only goddamn heal that I put in out of the supports. And people like to shit on me for that, but there's a reason for it. Now, Jenos heals for 200 health per second over 10 seconds. He is healing himself for the same that he is healing others, basically. Because he heals for 220 health per second, and this gives you 200 health per second. So, this to me is a valuable card. But the problem is it's weak at anything else. But again, you're putting in 5 points on a sustain card. These are the 3 cards you're going to most commonly see. So if you are running Luminary, you want to have Astral Cycle in there. And Astral Cycle is a card that is only effective at 2 or 4. And the problem with this is this increases the duration from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. It doesn't increase the heal at all. It increases the duration of the heal. Which means that you get an extra 440 health onto your heal, an extra 2 seconds of the Luminary damage buff, but your target's still gonna die, more than likely. You have Retrograde, which is one of the strongest cards, which everyone makes the mistake of putting at level 5, when it's only effective at level 2 and level 4. This is a great 2-second cooldown reduction, and mind you, if you have the 2-second cooldown reduction, brings you down to 6 seconds. If you get Chronos up to tier 2 or 3, you got it down to 4 seconds. But if you're investing that much in credits into Chronos, you're better off, like, just not. Especially with how strong his ult is as well. And then you have Light Years, which a lot of people think, oh, I don't need that in my build. Wrong. It's not that long of a range unless you have Light Years 3 or 4 or 5. It doesn't match a Cherished Furia. It doesn't match a Solar Blessing Furia. It doesn't match a Mortal Reach Ceres. So, what are we going to run here? I'll put Side Reel in. But the problem is, these cards are always what you see. I've got to put Light Years in. I've got to put Retrograde in. Now, I'd love to increase the range of the Void Grip. And I want to give myself Life Rip. But I can't afford to do the life rip because, see, I have to put 4 points into this, and I have to put at least 3 points into that. Now, I can use Heavenly Pull as a filler, which means I could put that at 4. But I'm thinking about, that build's not really going to be that effective. So, maybe I go for the ammo. I could put Inner Peace at 5 to test this out, and Side Reel at 1. And we'll try this. Let's see what I have for quests. Okay. So, we're going to put us into the game. We're going to get our Onslaught game out the way, try and wrap this video up for you guys. But Jenos is just one of those healers that if I see him in ranked on our side, we've lost. I know we've lost. Because it's just such an annoyance. He can't heal 2 tanks enough. At 2 damage, 2 tank, and 1 healer is the meta. The meta for ranked. And the problem is, it just doesn't work with a Jenos. Jenos works for a damage-oriented comp that's running 3 damage, 1 tank with Jenos. Or it's running 2 damage at a flank and a tank and Jenos. Or it's running 2 damage, a tank, and 2 healer. With someone being more of a dedicated healer and Jenos himself being a damage. The other problem with Jenos is he doesn't do a lot of damage without Binary Star. Power Cosmium is basically just made to counter flanks. Yeah, it's a 2.5 second. 2.5 seconds, not 2 seconds. And looking at the build that we have on him, this test build, if you will, the problem with this is it's not a strong enough heal. I don't have a lot of range. I don't have a lot of cooldown reduction. All I'm doing is I'm cutting the cooldown on the Void Grip in half by default, so I can just Void Grip a lot. This build doesn't work without Power Cosmium. As I could put Falling Star in. I could take Side Reel out and put in Heavenly Pull. Take the points out of that, put it in there. If I rework this into something like this, but the problem is now there's no point in me having Inner Peace in. So you see what I'm saying? He really has such a limited amount. It's like if you look, so I have Life Giver. This is my standard Luminary build right here. Okay? Here's your problem. 5, 4, 4. Life Exchange. This is a reset build right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have Life Destruction. This is a increased range build with Solar Sails as a filler. This is more of a Binary Star build, believe it or not. 1, 1, 5, 4, 4. Life Restoration. That's my self-heal.
Select a champion.
This is not a good map for Jenos either.
Champion your own.
But this is what we're dealt. Another thing people don't realize is you need morale boost on Jenos. Because his ult is very powerful, it's very easy to miss, and you can generate it very quickly. So, morale boost should be one of the first things that you get instead. Now see, I have to go Luminary here, because we've got a Torvald now. So that's a double damage amp, and my problem is I'm playing with low levels. I have a 6, a 3, and a 2, okay?
I smell sweet blood in the air.
I have 2 tanks. I'm probably gonna get top healer. Even though they have a Willow Dead Zone, I'm probably gonna get top healer. And that's the thing that annoys me so much with Jenos. You will get top healer 9 times out of 10 because of how much healing you do. You do a lot of healing, but you don't do sustainable healing. You heal people who are out of combat and kind of top them off in between. That's where most of your healing comes from.
You can try to hide the evil inside, but
So I've got to go Luminary.
delicacies.
We're trying the new build out. or buy a morale boost. So what do you buy on Jenos as well? Well, Kronos is nice, but you need morale boost. Well, resilience can be nice, as can Blast Shield and Haven. This really depends on the team comp you're going up against. The only thing you should be buying is Kill to Heal because of the amount of eliminations you'll get. You get a lot of elims, and you get more credits faster off of Kill to Heal. And then something like a Caught or a Wrecker. For this thing right here, oh wow, they have 3 Illuminates already. And 2 Wreckers. They don't have, see, they don't have any Cauterize to deal with me because I'm not a problem. I'm Jenos. Like, there's literally no point. So I'm gonna Stellar Wind early. I'll pop the heal on him. Who needs a heal? Who needs a heal? Amanda's dead. I can pop the heal on him, but it's not gonna matter. He's gripped. He can just dash out of it. I'm like literally one shot here. Keep the heal on him. Notice how I have to keep on the tanks to keep them alive. I can't afford to keep on the supports at any point in time. There we go. I have a heal on you. One shot kills me. Pick up my Kill to Heal. Even though I don't have an elimination, I'm picking up the Kill to Heal. That's why. Put it on him because the tank's not going to be able to survive with my heal, but the flank or the damage might. Pop the heal on him prematurely. Torvald's gonna die, can't do anything about that. Pop a heal on you. Yeah, he's gonna die, he's in a dead zone on top of that. Flash you. I'll wait. I have to pop the heal on him.
Show them.
Yes, I just solo ulted her. Don't question it. This is good if you're trying to like bait out resilience and stuff like that here, but pop the heal on you, but he's still gonna die. I died to that, I can't do nothing about it. I will buy the morale boost 2, Blast Shield 1. I should be picking up Cauterize, but I'm more than likely gonna pick up Haven. Put the heal on you, nope, he died.
Have you met my friend?
You got your heal. Nope, he died. Pop the heal on you. He's gonna die. Pop a heal on you, he died. That was me trying to do a stupid flank maneuver because my flank is like not, and it's annoying me.
Show them no mercy.
Yeah, I can't fight Deandra. Bad ult. Got a heal on you, but it's not gonna matter. Pop the heal on the Victor because he's gonna die. Oh my god. Keep running into the Andrew, I'm tired. Did he run cardio? He's not, he ran burst. The reason why you have to put on the damage character is because the damage character is the one that's going to be able to sustain more. He's going to get more health off of it than a tank would. I'm gonna die to... Nope. Yep.
Have you met my
Pop the heal on him. Okay, he's dead. Pop the heal on him. Pretty much you're just popping the heal on whoever's alive so you can get the luminary on them. Pop a heal on him. He's not going to be able to survive, more than likely. Get the heal on him.
Enemy double kill.
Try and get him. Nope. Max out my kill to heal. We're gonna lose, so it doesn't matter.
Show them. No.
Now, if I have top healing, that's gonna prove my point. Jenos is only good in damage comps where you're trying to apply that. And that's why I find it so annoying. Oh, Jenos is so good, Jenos is so good. Buy Rejuvenate. I'm not gonna buy Rejuvenate. Even if Rejuvenate could stack up to 100%. Right? 440 health per second is not a strong enough heal. It's not. Because that's what Grok provides without Rejuvenate. Without Totematic Ward. Ying is an 800 burst. Burst healing is the best because yes, it is affected more heavily by Cauterize. Just look at Pip. Pip has a 2,400 health burst that with Cauterize is negated down to 240. Did I get top healing? I got top healing. How much did I get top healing by? I got top healing by 7,000. Well, we'll call it 6,000. We'll call that 6,000. Right? And we lost that game. That is why Jenos right there sucks. My damage wasn't that bad. It was actually better than the Sky, which shouldn't be the case. It was better than their Terminus, which shouldn't be the case. But here's the thing. So I gave a damage amp to the rest of the team. My Fernando, who I was healing the most, my Fernando has 7 kills and 30k damage. So Luminary did its job, but the heal didn't do its job because he died 9 times. He died the second most times, other than that Victor. And that's kind of the problem. So, thanks for watching. Bye.